Nearly 1/3 of all impaired driving fatalities happen between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Because of that, some East Texas advocates are turning that statistic into a mission. KLTV 7's Zori Jones has more.
For Bishop Gorman Sr. Sylvie Gear, a defensive driving course turned into a life-changing moment. What she learned about crash data and distracted driving didn't just shape her summer, it shaped her future.
They don't realize that even that split second of being distracted can have consequences that impact the rest of their lives.
East Texas safety advocates say the next 100 days are the most dangerous of the year for teenage drivers. According to AAA, about 30% of all teenage drivers' death happened between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Distraction, speeding, impaired driving, and not wearing seatbelts remain the leading factors in deadly teen crashes. Kathy Davidson with Mothers Against Drunk Driving is part of Texas' Safe Summer campaign, targeting the deadliest holidays for teen drivers: Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day.
Unfortunately, during the summer, teens are less supervised and they have more freedom. The data shows us that those crashes do go up. We call it the 100 Deadliest Days of Summer.
She says parents can make a difference, but it takes more than one conversation.
Just having that conversation where it's not judgmental, and then don't just do it one time.
Gear is now taking that message beyond the classroom and sharing what she learned with other young drivers.
We don't know when we'll be in an accident or impacted by safe or distracted driving. It's very important to recognize the impacts that other drivers will have on us when we're on the road.
Advocates say planning ahead, whether that means designating a driver or using a ride share, can prevent tragedies before they happen. Zori Jones, KLTV 7 News.
You can scan the QR code on your screen for a free parent-teen driving agreement from AAA Texas. You can also find it in the big red box at kltv.com.